Hello children, welcome to biology class. We are discussing the lesson tissues, isn't it? Last week we started discussing animal tissues. So last week we discussed about epithelial tissue. Then three more tissues are remaining: connective tissue, muscular tissue and nervous tissue. Today we will discuss about muscular tissue and nervous tissue. A lot of examples are there in connective tissue. So after discussing these two, on next class we can discuss connective tissue. Okay. So we completed epithelial tissue. Today we are going to discuss the muscular tissue and nervous tissue, which helps for the movement and control and coordination respectively. So let's start with the muscular tissue, the muscles. Okay. So muscular tissue consists of elongated cells, also called muscle fibers. We know that this tissue is responsible for the movement in our body, isn't it? For the movement we require the contraction and relaxation of muscular tissue. And these muscles contain a specialized protein called contractile protein, which contract and relax to cause the movement. Clear, children? Now we are going to discuss about the types of muscular tissue. There are three types of muscular tissue. The first one is skeletal muscle, second one smooth muscle, and the last one cardiac muscle. Three types of muscle tissues are skeletal muscle, smooth muscle and cardiac muscle. See children, its structure. So it is very clear that the skeletal muscle and cardiac muscles are having long striations. See, long line-like striations on their body. But the smooth muscles lack these striations, isn't it? So that's why the smooth muscles are called non-striated muscle, whereas skeletal muscles are called striated muscles. And one among this muscle tissue is branched. Which is branched muscle tissue, children? Yes, cardiac muscle tissue is branched. In between these discs, these discs are known as intercalated disc. So in between this intercalated disc of cardiac tissue, we can see branches. Clear? And one more thing, so skeletal muscles, from that term itself it is very clear that they are seen and associated with the skeletal system, isn't it? Those are seen and associated with bones are known as skeletal muscles. Okay, so on your arms and leg you can see muscular tissue, isn't it? You just look on your arm. Can you see the presence of muscles there? Can you just move your hand? Is it possible? So those muscle tissues are seen in connection with bones are known as skeletal muscles, and we can move it freely according to our wish, isn't it? Because they are voluntary muscles. What do you mean by voluntary action? Conscious actions. We can move those muscles according to our will, isn't it? It is possible only for skeletal muscle, isn't it? It is not more possible for smooth muscles because these muscles are seen and associated with our internal organs, and cardiac muscles are seen only on heart, because this term cardiac is related with heart. Clear? So this is just a brief description of types of muscles. Now we are going to discuss in detail about these three muscle tissue. Let's start. Again the diagram. So we can start with skeletal muscle. So while explaining the introductory part, I explained that the skeletal muscles are also known as striated muscles, isn't it? So we can start with the term skeletal muscles. Why it is called so? Because these muscles are attached to the bones. These muscles are attached to the bones with tendons, T-E-N-D-O-N-S, tendons. We will discuss in detail about tendon during our connective tissue class. Okay. Now you just keep it in mind. This muscle tissue is connected to bones through tendon. Okay. And during the muscle contraction, skeletal muscle shortens and move various part of the skeleton. Okay. And the next point, it is having voluntary control. VOLUNTARY, voluntary. What is the meaning of voluntary action? Those actions are according to our will. You just move your arm and leg, it is possible. Why? Because the skeletal muscles are they are following the voluntary actions, meaning they are activated through signals carried to them via nerves. Then they are referred as striated because appearance of series of alternating light and dark strips. It is myofilaments actually. So I will show you that diagram. See, can see dark bands and light bands here. So because of this alternative, one dark band, one light band, one dark band, one light band, like that. Okay, so because of the presence of this alternative striations, dark and light bands, they are called as striated muscles. Okay. Children, if the question is asked to write note on skeletal muscle, you should write these 3 points. The first one, they are skeletal muscles because they are attached to bones. Second point, they are also called striated muscles because there is a presence of dark and light bands on their body. And the third one, they are voluntary muscles. They will move according to our will. Okay, these points are very important. And see the last point. Repetitive contraction leads to fatigue. I know you will experience this muscle fatigue, isn't it? During the sports and all, because of this continuous workout, you might feel this muscle fatigue, isn't it? Children, do you know who is the fastest man in the world? Yes, Usain Bolt. Did you watch his last Olympic meet? You just watch his last final Olympics meet. That I think it is a relay meet. During the relay meet, he was experienced this muscle fatigue, and he was fall down on the ground. It was very touching moment. You just watch it on YouTube. Okay, so that is muscle fatigue because of the continuous workout, and different reasons are there. Lactic acid get accumulated on the striated muscles. Okay, it is because of the absence of oxygen and different emotional causes are there. Different reasons are there. So accumulation of lactic acid on the muscle cause muscle fatigue. Okay, so you just watch Usain Bolt's last relay meet on YouTube. Okay, so you can see that meet is very touching moment. Okay, so that is muscle fatigue. So because of this continuous contraction, repetitive contraction, the skeletal muscles get fatigue. Okay, spell it FATIGUE, muscle fatigue. Clear? Then children, draw this diagram to your notebook. This is striated muscles, and you write skeletal muscles, and in bracket you write striated or voluntary muscles. Okay, and label dark and light bands, then label this nucleus too. Okay, children. Then the second type is smooth muscle. So you know, smooth muscles are seen on the internal organs of our body. That's why they are called visceral muscles. They are also called viscera. Viscera means internal organs. Viscera, VISCERA, viscera. So smooth muscles are also called visceral muscles, and they are involuntary. We can't move these muscles according to our wish, isn't it? Involuntary actions are there. We can't have any control over its movement. That's why smooth muscles are involuntary. And see its structure, it is very smooth. See, there is no striations on its body, only it is having a centrally located nucleus. It is very smooth in appearance. There is no striations. That's why they are called smooth muscles or non-striated muscles. Then their contraction is weak, slow, and having long duration. And these are the 6 areas or locations inside our body where we can see the presence of smooth muscles. First one inside the eye, Then walls of vessels, on respiratory tubes and digestive tubes, then on urinary organs, then on reproductive organs. Clear? And why the name smooth muscles? Because they lack these visible striations that are noticeable characteristics of other two muscle tissues. Which are the other two muscle tissues? Skeletal muscles and cardiac muscles. On both skeletal and cardiac muscles, we can see striations, but it is smooth muscle is very smooth in structure, isn't it? So only the spindle-shaped muscle cells, and you can see centrally located nucleus. Children, this diagram is there in our textbook, and here in this diagram you can see small lines over it. It is just a drawing, but actually this muscle tissue is not having these striations. So that's why I add this diagram. Okay, please don't draw these striations because smooth muscles lack striations. Okay, draw this diagram to your notebook and label this nucleus. Okay. Then the last type of muscle tissue, what is that? Cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscles are seen only on your heart. So here this is myocardium, the heart walls. You can see the presence of cardiac muscle tissue. What are the characteristics? They form most of the heart wall. It is again involuntary, isn't it? It is involuntary as that of smooth muscles, unconscious. It never move according to our will and is having autorhythmicity, contract without an external stimuli, fast contraction, and an important characteristic is not fatigable. That means it never getting fatigued throughout our lifetime. Isn't it? So what happens if we know that our heart muscles are doing this contraction, relaxation 24/7, isn't it? But they never get fatigued, never lactic acid accumulation has happened on their muscles. If once it happens, we will die, of course. Then it beats a constant rhythm that can be modified by neural and hormonal signals. So again, the structure of heart you can see in between. So this part is known as intercalated disc. So in between this intercalated disc, you can see branches. I will show you one more diagram. Before that, they have striations. Usually have single nucleus joined to another muscle cell at intercalated disc. It is involuntary, found only in heart. See, this is intercalated disc. So in between this intercalated disc, can see this branches, single nucleus is present, striations are there. Okay, draw this diagram of cardiac muscle to your notebook. Again, the diagram. Skeletal muscles are seen and associated with their bones. Cardiac muscles seen only on heart. Then smooth muscles are seen on the visceral organ, on internal organs. Clear? And children, you should draw these three diagrams of muscle tissue notebook and draw this table too. So this table will help you to study each and every points at a glance. So they are called striated muscles, they are called voluntary muscles, they are called skeletal muscles. Reasons are given. And the structure, what is the structure? Long, cylindrical shaped, unbranched. Please write unbranched cells because these are branched, isn't it? Multinucleated, but here only single nucleus. Only this part one nucleus, here one nucleus, like that. But here 1, 2, 3, 4 multinucleated structure. Then fibers are arranged in the form of bundles having dark and light bands. Locations, limbs. Then tongue, body and face and neck. You can see the presence of skeletal muscles. And contract quickly but cannot remain contracted for a long, so they get tired or fatigue. Write the term muscle fatigue, F-A-T-I-G-U-E. Sorry. Then the second type is smooth muscles, non-striated, involuntary, anything you can write. Better to write smooth muscles, and the reasons are given here. What is the shape of smooth muscles? Yeah, spindle shaped, uninucleated, fibers arranged in the form of sheets. Dark and light bands are absent. Seen on iris, that means on eyes. ureters, on urinary related to your ureter is a part of your excretory system. Then bronchi of lungs, alimentary canal. Then it contracts slowly but can remain contracted for long, so don't get fatigued or tired. Okay. Then cardiac muscle, the structure, it is striated but it is branched. It is short, cylinder shaped, branched cells and uninucleated. Fibers are arranged in the form of network. Then faint dark and light dark color, and they found only on the walls of heart. Okay, and they never get fatigued. They contract quickly and rhythmically, therefore they do not get fatigued or tired. Okay children, so that's about muscle tissue. Don't forget to draw this diagram, that means draw this table to your notebook along with the diagrams of skeletal muscles, smooth muscles and cardiac muscles. Okay. Then the next animal tissue is nervous tissue. On all the question paper you can see repeatedly asked a question to draw a nervous tissue or neuron. So draw the structure to your notebook. So what is a nervous tissue? Nervous tissue which occurs throughout the body receives and transmits the stimuli. It converts the stimuli, whether chemical or physical in nature, into an electric impulse that is conducted by this nervous tissue or neurons. So neurons, also called these nerve cells, are the functional unit of nervous tissue. So if the question is asked for 1 mark, what is a neuron? You should write neuron is also called nerve cell, are the functional unit of nervous tissue. Okay, neurons are the functional cells of nervous tissue, and it is also called, these neurons are also called nerve cells. Clear? Then all cell possesses the ability to respond to stimuli, isn't it? If anyone touch you, you will experience that touch, isn't it? Or different types of stimuli you will get, either physical or chemical. However, cells of nervous tissue are highly specialized for being stimulated and then transmitting the stimulus very rapidly from one place to another within the body. That means at that moment itself you will experience that, isn't it? So the brain, spinal cord and nerves are composed of this nerve tissue. The cells of tissue are also called nerve cells or neurons. We explained it already. And draw this diagram, okay children, and we are going to explain the structure. A neuron or nerve cell consists of cell body. So it is its cell body. It is also called cyton, C-Y-T-O-N, with a nucleus inside and a fluid filled cytoplasm. So here cytoplasm is present and nucleus from which long thin hair like part arise. See, so from this cell body, this is cell body, it is called cyton, C-Y-T-O-N, with nucleus and cytoplasm, and from which long hair like structures are arising. Usually each neuron has a single long part called axon. This long part is called axon, and many short branched parts called dendrites. This is a short branched part, these are dendrites, but one part is very long, it is called axon, and at its tip we can see nerve ending. Here the next neuron will start. Clear? An individual nerve cell may be up to a meter long, up to a meter. Many nerve fibers bound together by connective tissues make up a nerve. Okay, so this is the nerve cell's body. It is known as cyton. Cytoplasm is there, nucleus are there, and a lot of branches called dendrites, but one is long branch, it is known as axon, and at the tip you can see a lot of nerve endings. Here start another neuron, like that it is connected each other. Millions of neurons are there in our body, and it is connected to brain and spinal cord. Clear? Then nerve impulses allow us to move our muscles when we want to. So the functional combination of nerve and muscle tissue is fundamental to most animals. We can't survive with the presence of only one, isn't it? This combination enables animal to move rapidly in response to stimuli. Okay, so that is about nervous tissue. So today we discussed two animal tissues. Which are they? The first one was muscle tissue. In muscle tissue, we discussed three types of muscle tissues: skeletal muscles, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle. Then another animal tissue that we discussed is nervous tissue. Okay, so draw the diagrams and write the important notes to your notebook, children. So study well. We can meet in next class. Hope you all understood today's class well. And I think we will have class only after Onam holidays. So I wish you a very happy Onam in advance. Please don't go outside because the number of COVID patients are increasing day by day. Stay home, stay safe. Okay, children, we shall overcome. So thank you.